everybody, it is Gwendolyn from Portal to Peace. This is actually video is meant for me so I could practice my informed consent and statement of understanding while I am driving my car. But if you find it helpful to help you practice, or if you've never been to a counselor before, then this would be one of the first things that a counselor would do with you, is to review your rights as a client and then go through the protocols or the procedures of how they expect payment or any other details that you need, how they accept payment, if they do direct billing. All those things are covered in this portion of your session. So here I go. So first of all, I want to welcome you all. I appreciate you coming and using coming to Portal to Peace, where you can expect counseling and hypnotherapy to relieve any trauma or symptoms of trauma that you are experiencing, right? I help you find ways through that. Now, before you begin, I'm wondering just if you need to use the washroom or if you would like a bottle of water. Okay, well, the bathroom is just across the hall, and I'll meet you back here. All right, well, thank you. It was so nice to meet you. Please come into my office and have a seat. And before we begin, I really want to thank you for being here today. And I want you to remind you that I am a student in training, and this assessment interview is part of that training, and I'll be sending it to my instructor as she needs to mark it. Therefore, I won't be using your name. And if by accident I do use your name, I will delete it from the recording to protect your confidentiality. It's really important that you know that. Also, if there's any questions I can't answer, I will speak to my supervisor and get back to you with an answer. All right, again, I really appreciate you coming today. So now that I was just talking about your rights to confidentiality and my sharing the recordings and notes that I make with my supervisor, but I'm not using your name, I need to also let you know your rights as a client, right? So as you already know, that you have the right to confidentiality. Everything said here in this office stays here except for 4 exceptions. All right, so the first one is I'm legally required to contact the authorities if you are in immediate danger of committing suicide, right? Second, I'm legally required to contact the authorities if you share with me about anyone else who is in immediate danger of hurting themselves or hurting others. And third, I'm legally required to contact the authorities to share, if you share with me that someone you know is planning on hurting or is abusing a child, is hurting an elder, or if anyone's being abused or hurt. 4, I'm legally required to share your file if it's subpoenaed by a lawyer. Now, I just want to remind you that during this practice session, I will be reviewing these limits of confidentiality with you each time. Do you have any questions about the limits of confidentiality? All right. Well, thank you. Now, I would like to review the statement of understanding with you. It's a form, and it lists the rights that I just discussed, and it also outlines my office policies on late cancellations, fees, and methods of payments. But since I'm a student in training, there is no charge for our practice sessions, which are intended for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional therapy. And after we read the information, I need you to sign the form at the bottom. Okay, I will place a link to the form, I'm hoping, in the comments below. All right, so again, the form just goes over the informed consent of confidentiality and clients' rights. The rights to your records, there is a record kept of services provided to you, and all records are confidential, and the access to them will be granted to you if desired. Okay, and then it reviews that I'm a student in training and there's no fees, and then I have you sign and date, and I witness it. I witness the form. All right. Now, that was informed consent of confidentiality.